Hi everyone, and welcome to our May Supervision. We're trying something different out this month, so feel free to let us know if you like it or don't like it. Amanda's going to start us off with project updates, and then I'll finish this off with the interview process.
So hi guys, we're going to start by talking about our suicide assessment guidelines. We're still talking to some other people outside of MFRI, and we will let you know when we have come to a decision on how we're going to handle these situations, so be on the lookout for that email. Next here is we've added a definition for deployment to our child interviews. We recently had a child not know what a deployment was. We figured that this is a pretty crucial definition that they should know, so that will now be added to the back of all of your child interviews in that glossary. As of now, all of your interviews will also be coming with extra consent copies. They should have 2 forms of each version of consent and assent forms, so that just in case something isn't there or you don't know if we have it already signed back in the office, you guys will have those copies so that you can make sure everything is filled out. We polled you last month about your preference for Dropbox or Google Drive. We have decided to use Dropbox. That seemed to be the most familiar version that everybody has seen. So if you go to dropbox.com, you can create an account and then send us an email and let us know what email address you've chosen, whether that's your Purdue or your personal account, so that we can send you an invitation to share our folder with you. You can either click view folder in the email to open it up, or you can log back into your Dropbox and hit accept so that you can see the folder. In this folder is going to be copies of all the interviews. We'll have the conversation forms, fit rules, child rules, consent forms, pretty much an overview of all the forms you might need. If you notice that something's not on there that you think might be helpful, just let us know and we can add that, no problem. Some of you have been asking about project updates and kind of where we are in our project. So just so you know, we have had 288 families complete pre-D and 27 families complete R3. You will also see attached to this email is a project update chart. So the summer might be a little slow, but August and September seem to be pretty busy, and that's going to make up for that slower times. Finally, many of you read the email about some of the fit things regarding the pipeline. So in the email, we talked about the bend cup and how different participants might view this. An interviewer responded to that and brought up that in the past, some of you have flipped the bend cup over to just kind of eliminate any confusion for the participants. So feel free to do that, because that might be a really useful tool. Now Haley will tell us about some of our interview process updates.
Okay, we'll start talking about the family information forms. If you do print those forms out for your information as you go to the interview, please be sure to send those forms back with the box, just for security purposes, so we know that information isn't floating around. As a second but less preferred option, please shred that information ASAP, so that the family's information is not insecure and not floating around. We also have an update about fit child consent forms. Sometimes families surprise us with an extra child we don't know about, or with a child who's not biologically related but might be at the house often, like a cousin or something. So if there is a child, such as a friend of the family or a cousin, who does not have a parent there to consent, they cannot participate. So we have had children participate whose parents did not give it consent, like again if there's a cousin or someone who's like a family friend but like the family. And we cannot analyze any part of the FIT video interaction that includes this child. So when we analyze the videos, we analyze interactions between 2 people in the videos, and so anyone that child interacts with, that data is not analyzable, essentially. So we want to disclude them from the FIT. And that just helps us follow IRB rules and makes it easier to analyze those videos. So feel free to let the family know that the reason that child can't participate is not because we don't want them to, but is for legal reasons. And that we don't consider them, and it's not that we don't consider them to be part of the family, but that we really just can't videotape them. If we have an extra person in the FIT, like an extra child or even an extra adult, like an aunt or an uncle, please be sure to let us know who they are. Just for analyzing purposes, we need to know who was who for the video. So if you could, in your IRF, identify that person, like saying that person was wearing a blue hat or a red shirt, and just let us know which participant is which, just so that we can put that information down when we are analyzing the data. There's also information here about the child assent forms. Just as a reminder that the child assent forms need to be signed and sent back if the participant is 13 or older. Child assent for ages 3 to 12 helps them feel involved and gives a record of their participation, but they don't necessarily have to have that to be able to participate in the FIT. But anyone 13 or older needs that assent form and needs to fill that out and have it sent back to us. Just an update about schedules, about using your Outlook calendar, to a reminder to set your time to unavailable time to busy. And again, this is just a friendly reminder. We hope that's all going well for you with Outlook. Feel free to give us a call or an email if you're having any issues with your Outlook calendar or using the Outlook system. There's also an item here about sending back forms. So the scheduling desk will be sending any necessary copies of signed consent forms from previous interviews for that interview for that family. Please be sure to send these copies back so we know they're not floating around with participant information on it. So if you do not receive past copies of consent or assent forms for the family, please get them to fill out a new one, just in case that it's because we haven't had one from the past. It just covers all of our bases if you do that. And the last item on this list is about pay certs. So there's a couple points here as we made that transition to the new payee cert form. Only use the new payee cert form, and that's the format of the one Amanda recently sent out to you with the pre-filled information. The business office will no longer be accepting the old payee cert certification. So if you want to get paid, you have to use that new form. And those will come out with every box. So if you don't print out the one Amanda gave you or you don't use that one, it will still come in the box, and they will only be the new forms. Your pay cert should have family ID numbers and the dates of the interviews and events on the form, and you're responsible for filling out mileage and total hours in the correct spot as well. We've also discovered that the highlighted boxes that we sent to you via email make the document harder to see because the documents are scanned multiple times, so your information might not show up as well. So if you use the pay certs electronically and yours is highlighted, please unhighlight the boxes before filling them out and sending them. Or you can unhighlight the boxes and then resave it so none of them are highlighted, just so that we have all the correct information for you. And that's about it as far as our updates go. Again, feel free to give us some feedback on watching these on YouTube, and hopefully this goes well for you, and let us know. Thanks.